Okay, so let us begin. Okay, students, before that, I would like to show you all what a solenoid is, because since many days I'm explaining, but I'm not sure if you all know exactly how it looks. You all can see the diagrams, right? Please let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
fine. So let us just take any diagram. So this, you all can see this is, please pay attention on the cursor. So this is the electrical wire thing, or you all can see this diagram. Okay, in this diagram, it is very much like you can understand it in a better way. So this electrical wire, okay, it is like cylindrical, and inside this wire there is magnetic field of its own. Okay, this is a solenoid, and because of the current that is flowing, a magnetic field is generated. You all can see the magnetic lines, yes or no? And what we do is, whatever material we want to get magnetized, we will place it inside this solenoid. Okay, we'll keep it inside this hollow space. Okay, fine. So I felt like I should show this to you all. Okay, now let us continue. Okay, students, you all can see the PDF right now. Please let me know. PDF ही दिख रहा है ना अभी सबको?
हाँ
Yes,
मैम.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. Okay, fine. Let's move on to the next topic, that is hysteresis. All right. Again, this is for a ferromagnetic material. Okay, fine. I don't know if you all have seen the concept of hysteresis before. I am not sure. Okay, but then this graph that is there, it is called a hysteresis loop or hysteresis cycle. Okay, let us try to understand the graph, what is happening. Firstly, this graph is between B, it is B versus H. Okay, what is B, students? Capital B is nothing but your magnetic field. Capital H is nothing but your magnetic intensity. Students, this basic formula, it was there in your 11th standard, and I have repeated it now as well. Your B is nothing but magnetic flux. Okay, it is magnetic, that is phi sign. Please understand what I'm writing. Okay, it is magnetic flux per area. Yes or no? Your B is magnetic flux per area. Okay, this is the formula for B. So your B magnetic field is also called flux density. Okay, another term for it is flux density. So as I said, this graph is B versus H. Yes or no? So B over here is flux density, that is phi by A, and H is nothing but magnetic intensity. Students, I hope you all remember what is the formula for magnetic intensity. Okay, it was discussed when we did magnetization and magnetic intensity. So capital H is nothing but N into I. Okay, fine. So we are plotting B versus H. Okay, so let us begin. First, I'll explain you all how to draw this graph exactly. Okay. Uh, First thing that happens is that, okay, see over here, students, instead your, in place of H, your magnetic intensity is also called magnetizing force. Okay, because your magnetic intensity is the cause for magnetization. Okay, fine. Magnetization is when you keep a material inside that solenoid or inside a already present magnetic field, and it acquires magnetic properties. It is magnetized throughout the volume. What is the cause of this magnetization, students? The current that is flowing through the solenoid. Okay, yes or no? Because that current is responsible for the magnetic field. More the current, more is the magnetic field, more will be the amount of magnetization. Okay, fine. So this current through N loops, okay, current through N loops is nothing but H, magnetic intensity. So this magnetic intensity is responsible for the magnetization. That is the reason your magnetization is directly proportional to H, right? All these points already covered. Okay, fine. So your H is also called magnetizing force. Okay, fine. Now students, when I say current is increasing or current is decreasing, what I mean is H is increasing or H is decreasing respectively, because it is very obvious. What is H? H is N into I. Small n is the number of turns of the solenoid and I is the current. If I am increasing current, it means I am increasing the value of H. If I am decreasing current, I am decreasing the value of H. Okay, so I hope you all have understood till now. Okay, so let us begin. So students, see at the beginning, like when 0, when nothing is happening, okay, we keep the material inside the solenoid. All right. So initially nothing is happening. Okay. Initially all the dipole moments inside the material, they are in random directions. After some time, they will be aligned in one direction, and we can see a net magnetic dipole moment of the material. Okay. So you all can see, concentrate on this part right now. Only this line that is there. Just a minute. This line that is there. Okay, fine. So till this point A. Okay, fine. So here what is happening, students? At the beginning, we started from 0, 0. Okay, fine. All right. Now, student, this B that is there, okay, this B is the magnetic field of the material. Okay, the material, the magnetic field that the material acquires. Okay, fine. See, this H is the magnetic intensity which solenoid is providing, and this B is the magnetic field of the material that is kept inside the solenoid. So, if the external H is increasing, okay, if external H is increasing, it means that inside the level of magnetization is increasing, right? And if the level of magnetization is increasing, then obviously the magnetic field of that particular material is also more. Okay, I hope you all are understanding. So see, this is a linear graph, or you all can see this is a linear curve. Okay, so initially everything is 0. As you all increase H, B is also increasing. Okay, as simple as that. It reaches point A. Okay, now what is this point A? This point A is called saturation magnetization. Students, you all can only write saturation, that is okay, because in your textbook they have written only saturation. But in your textbook right now, you all can note it down that this is called saturation magnetization. Okay, this point is called saturation magnetization. Now, what is saturation magnetization? See, the material is getting magnetized. It means that all the dipole moments are aligned. So initially 0 dipole moments were aligned. Okay, 0 dipole moments were aligned. As I increase H, as I increase current, okay, because H is N into I. So as I increase the current, H is increasing, and the magnetization, amount of magnetization is increasing. So amount of magnetization is increasing means more and more dipole moments are getting aligned. Okay. All right, more and more dipole moments are getting aligned, and then it reaches a point called saturation magnetization. Now, for example, students, inside the material, if there are 100 atoms, okay, for example, so initially 0 atoms dipole moment is aligned. After some time, we will see that 10 atoms are aligned. Okay, they are dipole moments. After some time, 50. And finally, all the 100 atoms dipole moments are aligned. Now, students, after this point, okay, after this saturation magnetization point, even if you'll increase the current, it is of no use. Okay, why? Because all the dipole moments have already been aligned. So increasing the current, it is of no use. So that is the reason the graph stops here, because it has reached its saturation magnetization. All the atoms present inside the material have been magnetized or have been aligned. Okay, fine. I hope you all are understanding. Just a minute. Just a minute, students. Okay, fine. All right. So I hope you all understood till now. This is the first part of the graph, that is point A. So this point A, you all can simply write saturation, or you all can write saturation magnetization. Now what happens next? Students, remember that we are discussing about a ferromagnetic material. Okay, fine. So in the next part, we have also drawn arrows for you all to understand the direction. After the graph reaches here, okay. My cursor, just a minute. After the graph reaches here, now this is going to come back till here. Okay, follow the alphabets A, B, C, D, E. So it's in order. So after reaching point A, now it will get to point B. Why this has happened? First condition was the very first thing, okay, at 0. Like if I have to draw this graph from scratch, students, at 0 there was nothing. So I am increasing the current. Increasing the current means I am increasing H. Okay. Because of that, what is happening? My B is increasing. So my I'll start from here, and B will increase, and it will reach one point, that is saturation magnetization, where all my atoms' magnetic moments have been aligned. Okay. This is the first thing that we are doing. After this, what we'll do is we'll decrease the current. Okay. Decrease the current means I am decreasing H now. So basically, I'm decreasing H now. So when I'm decreasing h, my graph will come back from this position to here. Now the question is why my graph is stopping midway over here. Okay, students, if you all will see at this B point, okay, small b point, the value of h is 0. Value of current is 0. In short, current 0 means h 0. Value of h is 0, but value of B is not 0. Okay, B is the flux density that is acquired by the material after keeping it in external magnetic field. So when I stop the current, students will remember one property about ferromagnetism. Even after you all remove the external magnetic field, a ferromagnetic material will retain its magnetic properties. That is what is happening over here. Even if I remove the external magnetic field, the external magnetic field is because of what? The external current. So even if I remove the external current and make it completely 0, I will see that inside the material there is still B retained. The flux or the magnetic field, the flux density of the material is still retained. That is the reason ये ग्राफ जो है ये ऐसा यहाँ पर join नहीं हो रहा है. ठीक है, वो यहाँ पर ऐसे हाफ वे आ रहा है. Your value for B, your at point B, value of H is 0, but value of B is not equal to 0. Okay, why? Because ferromagnetic material, because it will retain magnetic properties even after you all remove the external magnetic field, and external magnetic field is responsible because of the external current. Okay, fine. So this point, such a point, this point has a name called retentivity. Okay, so students, what you can do is somewhere over here you can just write small b. Okay, put a comma, write down that here h is equal to 0. Okay, write down h is equal to 0, and write down b is not equal to 0. Okay, fine. H is equal to 0, b is not equal to 0. Here, if you all want to be more precise, here besides h equal to 0 in bracket, write down I equal to 0. H is equal to n into I. So if I is 0 means h is 0. Okay, so this I am, this part you all have to write for this retentivity point. Okay, fine. Students, I hope you all are understanding. Please note this down. Okay, this is not equal to 0. If you all are not understanding anything, then please ask, I'll repeat. Okay, so first we are increasing current. We reach A, that is saturation point. Now we are decreasing current. So the graph is coming back. Okay, so when the current is 0, when the current becomes 0, that is when H is 0. We observe that B is not completely 0, capital B. Okay, it has still some flux density retained inside it. Students, please let me know if you all have understood till now what is happening, and if you all have noted it down, what I asked you all to note down.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now what happens is that, okay, now let's see what is happening. Let's go from this part, B to C part. Okay, fine. I want you all to just a minute. Okay, fine. All right. Now students, this right hand side of the part, right hand side is plus H. The left hand side is minus H. Now minus H does not mean that we are providing negative value of current. No, we are not providing minus 5 amperes or something like that. No, we are providing current in opposite direction. Now we will be changing the direction. So whatever was the direction on this side, we will now, which current I'm talking about, the current that is going through the solenoid. Okay, so now that current moves in opposite direction. Okay, like from this B point, see students, here at B point the current was 0. Okay, the current became 0. Now I will provide current in reverse direction. Now students, when we do this, what is happening? Everything will become reverse. Okay, first when we were increasing current and all, what was happening? The magnetic field increases and all the magnetic dipole moments are aligned in one direction, and all these things are happening, right? Now when I have changed the direction of current, the magnetic dipole that was aligned, now they will break those alignment. They will break that alignment and try to move in different directions. Okay, so when current was in one direction, okay, current was in one direction, all the things that I have explaining till now happened. Okay, now as soon as I reverse the direction of current, all these aligned dipole moments will now change their alignment. Okay, fine. I hope you all are understanding. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, students. Fine. I hope you all are understanding. So now what happens is, what you all can do is, you all can note one point down from B to C. Okay. Like you all can write it somewhere over here from B to C. So it is indicating from point B to C. Current's direction changes. I hope you all are noting it down. Students, it is written in your textbook, like inside the paragraph, it is there somewhere. But I just want you all to note these things down over here besides the diagram, so that when you all will understand what is happening in the graph. Okay. So write down first B to C, put a colon, and then below that write down, or after the colon write down, current's direction changes. Current's direction changes. So now H, that is your capital H. Okay. So now H will try to break. So now H will try to break MDM. Students, MDM means magnetic dipole moment. So like short form may write it down. Okay, M dot D dot M. That is magnetic dipole moment. I'll repeat, current's direction changes. So now H, that is your capital H, will try to break MDM. Okay. So the dipole moments that were aligned, now those alignment will try to, the magnetic intensity, which was the cause for the alignment, now just because the direction of current has changed, it will try to destroy that alignment. Okay, fine. Next, you all can note down over here is, okay students, before that please let me know if you all have noted till now whatever I dictated. जो मैंने बोला वो नोट डाउन किया सबने?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, fine. Next, you all can write is, just a minute, okay? You all can just show something like this. That is, I now increases and B decreases, something like this. Okay. I hope you all are understanding. The upward arrow is indicating I increases. The downward arrow means decreases. Now students, see, even if we are going in reverse direction, okay, we are going in reverse direction now. Okay, wait, just pay attention on the explanation. So at point B, what was happening, students? At point B, current was 0, B was not 0, okay, capital B. Flux density was not 0 because some flux density was retained. Now what I'm doing, I'm changing the direction of my current. So when I change the direction of the current, all the alignment of the dipole moment is disturbed, etc., etc. So इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि it is losing its flux density. Okay, the material is losing its flux density. So from this B point, even though my current is in reverse direction, I am increasing the value. Okay, you all can see, right? You all can identify from the graph. See, this graph is going like this now. So it means that I'm increasing the current value. Even though it is in the opposite direction, I'm increasing the value, right? Yes or no? So here I am increasing the current value, but pay attention on what is happening to your B. You all can see here, this graph is going down and reaching 0. So my B's value is decreasing. Okay. So when at small b, when current was 0, capital B was not 0 because some flux density was still retained. After that, what we did, we changed the direction of current, and we changed the direction and we are increasing the current now. But in this process, what is happening? B is decreased now and reached 0. So this point is there, no, point C. Okay, this point C that is there, which is called coercivity. All right, fine. This C point, at this C point, what you all can do is, after you all have noted this down, just write C now. Okay, just write point C. Okay, and besides point C, you all can write down that I is not equal to 0, but B is equal to 0. Okay, students, first thing that I asked you all to note was, put small b, and in front of small b, you all can write down that I is 0, capital B not equal to 0. Then next point, what is happening from B to C? So B to C, direction of current changes. Okay. So now H will try to break the MDM, that is magnetic dipole moment. From B to C, students, if you all observe what is happening, my current is increasing. Current means H is increasing and my B is decreasing. So that I asked you all to write it like this. Okay, fine. This is happening. And what is point C? Your coercivity point. Okay, at point C, current, that is I, is not equal to 0, but B is equal to 0. Okay. Please let me know if you all have finished noting this down.
Yes, ma'am.
Other students, you all have to let me know. I'm waiting for the people who are still writing.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Just a minute. Okay, fine. All right. So students, how is the flow? What is the flow? At the beginning, nothing was happening. We increase the current. Capital B is increasing and it reaches point A. Point A is the saturation point. Okay. After we have reached the saturation point, now I am decreasing the current. Decreasing current means decreasing H. So I decrease the current, I decrease it, I bring it to 0. Okay, I bring my current to 0, that is point B. But here, one thing to observe is when current is 0, my capital B is not 0 because ferromagnetic material retains the flux density. Okay. Now what we do is after this small point B, I will reverse the direction of current. I will reverse it and I am increasing the current. 0 पे था ना point B पे, तो अभी direction change करके हम लोग value बढ़ा रहे current का. So when I do this, what I observe is that the capital B value that was retained, it will now decrease and reach 0. That is your point C. Okay, fine. Let's move ahead now. Now students, next what happens is that now at this point, my B is 0 and my current is not 0, it is some value. I am constantly now increasing my current. You all can see the graph is moving ahead now. It is still moving ahead. So it means I am increasing my current. So now students, what happens that the material will again acquire, it will again start acquiring the this thing, magnetic field. Just like how it happened, how we started from here, current start हो रहा है वैसे current बढ़ रहा है वैसे ही B बढ़ रहा है. Now that same thing will happen over here. एक बार B जब 0 हो गया, okay, now still we are increasing the current. So again the same procedure will happen. Current is increasing, so B is increasing and it reaches a saturation point. You all can see current is increasing, B is increasing, it will reach a saturation point, that is D. And then from here the same thing will happen. Okay, here you all can see if we are going in this direction, मतलब हम लोग current कम कर रहे हैं, है ना? So we are decreasing the current, we will reach this point. This point, current is 0, B is not 0. Okay. After this point, I will reverse the direction of current and I will try to increase the current after reversing the direction. But in this procedure, what is happening? My B is becoming 0 over here. Okay, fine. I hope you all are understanding. So here, see students, what you all can do is you all can note down that this E point that is there. Okay, this E point is equivalent to your B point. So besides E, write down retentivity. Okay, besides E, write down retentivity, and your F point is equivalent to your coercivity point. Okay, so below, besides F, write down coercivity. So you all can see this is one complete cycle. The part that I explained to you all in the upper half, same is happening in the lower half. So it is a complete, so this is one entire hysteresis cycle or one entire hysteresis loop. Okay, students, please let me know if you all understood this. So basically, if I have to, if I just concentrate on this much part, okay, on this much part. So on the right hand side, magnetization is happening. On the left hand side, demagnetization is happening. Only on the upper half, okay, not on the lower half, because on the lower half it is reverse. On the lower half, here magnetization is happening and here demagnetization is happening. Okay, this is just to understand what is happening. Students, please let me know if you all have understood hysteresis curve.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The diagram is very simple. You all can easily draw the diagram. Just remember the names and all and do the labeling properly. But if you understood this procedure, no, whatever is written inside is the procedure only. Let us just quickly go through this thing. explanation. Okay, I'll just read it out. The behavior of ferromagnetic material when placed in external magnetic field is quite interesting, informative. Okay, not important. Okay, students, here they have written something about magnetization and all. This you all already know. Okay, you keep the material inside a solenoid. Okay, they have also mentioned about solenoid. Okay, you keep a unmagnetized ferromagnetic material. The ferromagnetic material where the dipole moments are still in their domains, not aligned. So that I'll keep inside the solenoid. It will get magnetized and all. This is the formula. So these are the points already discussed in this chapter before. Okay, fine. And then this formula also, students, this formula is there, no? This has been arrived from a derivation that we did above in this chapter. So if you all don't remember, please go and have a look. Okay. Knowing the value of H, which is N into I and M, one can calculate the corresponding magnetic field. Okay, so if you know capital M and H, you all can find magnetic field because of this formula. Okay, well, it is not important over here. Just a minute, okay. Okay, so figure 11.11, that is our hysteresis curve, shows the behavior of material as we take it through one cycle of magnetization. So at point O in the graph, the material is in non-magnetized shape. Point O means the origin point. As the strength of the external intensity increases, student, strength of external magnetic intensity means when current is increased, B also increases. Okay, fine. Near point A, the magnetic field is at maximum value, which is called saturation magnetization. Okay, fine. Same thing written over here. Let's move ahead. Just a minute. Okay, fine. Okay, if H is increased future, or I think so, if H is increased in future, there is no increase in B. Students, this point also I also already mentioned. After reaching the saturation point, even if you increase the current, even if you increase the H, it is of no use. Okay, fine. Next, students, see here in your textbook, no, they have just written it quickly in short. Like they have not mentioned that after reaching the saturation point, they are decreasing the current, like how I explained. Okay, fine. So please keep the explanation in mind when you all are reading this later. Okay, fine. Let's skip to the main part. Okay, fine. See this, when H is 0, H0 means I0. Okay, that is your small b point. We do not get B as 0. Okay, B was not equal to 0. So this is called retentivity. Already discussed all these things. Okay, fine. This means that the domain alignment is still retained. Okay, the magnetic property is still retained, means that the dipole moments are still aligned. Okay, fine. Next, the current is increased in the solenoid in the reverse direction. So students will remember from B to C what was happening. We reverse the direction of the current. Okay, fine. And at point C, we get B as 0. I is not equal to 0, but B is 0. Okay, fine. At your point C. Okay, fine. Students, all these things are what I already explained. That's why I'm not reading everything. Okay, fine. All right. Now see, students, at point C, what happens? This point is important. You all can mark it down. At point C, the domain axes are randomly oriented with respect to each other, because now B has become 0, right? Capital B is 0 means all the alignment has gone, because the reverse current is responsible for that only. Okay, fine. If the current is further increased in the reverse direction, B increases and again it reaches a saturated point. So after the C point, okay, where B is 0, we are still going on increasing the current. So it means that B will start getting aligned again and it reaches a saturation point D. Okay, so again the same thing will happen. Okay, I think so further the same thing they have written. Just a minute. Just a second, students. Okay, fine. So what you all can do is, students, you all, after the lecture is done, you all can just read it once, the hysteresis thing. I think so the same thing is written, whatever I explained, because I'm running out of time, so I'm not reading. Okay, fine. And if you all have any doubt, you all can ask me. Okay, all right. Now here, see this yellow colored box that is there. why does the what does the area inside the curve BH hysteresis curve indicate? Okay, so the question is, what is the area? Okay, what is this area inside this hysteresis curve indicating? Okay, so students, I want you all to note down one statement quickly. Okay, we have just 2 minutes left. If the session ends, then the lecture is over. Okay, so we'll continue next time from where I have left. So you all can note down the answer for this yellow box question. The area enclosed by the hysteresis curve, the area enclosed by the hysteresis curve indicates energy loss per cycle. The area enclosed by the hysteresis curve indicates the energy loss per cycle. So that entire graph is one cycle. Okay, so how much is the energy lost in one cycle? That is indicated by the area of that curve. Okay, fine. In bracket, you all can write down energy loss in applying external magnetic field.
Miss, repeat again.
Yeah. See, the first statement is the area enclosed by the hysteresis curve. The area enclosed by the hysteresis curve indicates energy loss per cycle. Okay. Now in bracket, write down energy loss in applying external magnetic field. कौन सा एनर्जी लॉस जो एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड लगाया वो एनर्जी उसका लॉस इज एनर्जी लॉस पर साइकिल ओके सो इन ब्रैकेट राइट डाउन एनर्जी लॉस इन अप्लाइंग एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड large area means more loss and vice versa. Large area means more loss and vice versa. So students, here they have given two graphs. So which one is the larger one? The first one. So obviously the first one will have more loss as compared to the next one. Large area means more loss. Okay, fine. Okay, so students, that's it for this lecture.